guys, it's Andy, and today I will be showing you guys a step-by-step tutorial on how I paint my little cartoon characters on my nails. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I do these a lot, and I really want to show you guys how I do it. So let's get on to the supplies that you will need. First, you're going to need paint, obviously, but the type of paint you use definitely is critical with this. For instance, apple barrel paint I do not recommend because it dries really chalky. It's not easy to layer, and they're not very pigmented paints, so would not really recommend this unless you are like truly a beginner. I also wouldn't recommend Arteza 2 paint if you're a beginner. It is a very good type of paint, but it's very thick and very hard to work with, so wouldn't really recommend this to beginners either, but it is very good paint. I also don't recommend Daler Rowney, I don't know how you say it, but this is very cheap paint. It feels like it's very, very watery, not pigmented, and it does not layer well, so yeah. Apple Barrel is a no, Arteza 2 paint is a no, and Daler Rowney, however you say it, is a no. But Arteza bottle paint is a yes, it's amazing paint. So the next thing you're going to need is a nail, your real nail, a fake nail, with 2 coats of white and a matte top coat. You can use gel or regular polish, doesn't really matter. And you're also going to need a palette. I'm just using this nail stamper scraper thingy, yeah. You're also going to need some agua. And you're also going to need a either matte top coat or glossy top coat, again regular or gel, whichever one you have, to top off your finished painting. You're also going to need brushes, and the 4 brushes that I like to use is the Zero Spot. These are also by Arteza. I use this one for filling in more bigger spots, or like bigger places, and then the 2/0 Spot I use for filling in smaller spaces. The 3/0 Round I use for my sketch work. And the 4/0 liner I use for my line work, obviously because it is a liner brush and it works really well for getting really thin lines. So now let's actually get into painting. So the first thing you're going to do is I'm going to take my 3/0 round, which again I use for sketching, and I'm going to take some black paint and really water it down to a good consistency to where I can control how thick or thin and how small my lines can get, because we're working really, really small, keep in mind. And then I look up whatever picture I'm wanting. Today I just wanted to do something really simple and not super detailed, so I picked Michelangelo. I thought that would be a cute, simple design for beginners to try and accomplish. So you're probably wondering, why does it have to be like a matte surface? That is because the paint will adhere to it. And you'll get very clean lines. Well, not if you do that, but just try not to mess up. Because if you have a glossy surface, like a glossy top coat over it, it's just going to slide everywhere. You're not going to get good lines at all. And one thing I like about these nails is you can like maneuver it up, down, side to side, whatever you have to do to get clean lines. And I just work very slow with this. I try and get as clean and as thin as lines as possible so I don't have to do much covering up with the paint. But just take your time so you can get the proportions right. And then we're going to go into the regular color. So I'm going to take my Zero Spot, since I'm filling in a pretty big space, and I'm going to take this green, yellow, and white to make the perfect Michelangelo color. Later on I did change the color because it looked kind of grinchy. I didn't really want that. And you're going to work in very thin layers. Thin does not mean watery. You just don't want a lot. You obviously want to water down the paint, but you don't want to like put a lot of paint on there. You want it to be really thin and just really nice and smooth. And then again, like I said, I'd put a little bit of brown in it, so it was actually like Michelangelo color, not Grinch, because that's not what I was going for. And I usually do as many coats as I can. Again, very thin coats, and side note, my nails are really long. I'm really happy about that because they're my natural nails. But anyways, back to what this video is actually about. I work in really, really thin coats and smooth coats because, oh my gosh, like if you get like crinkles in the paint, it's just gonna look really weird, and that's what I made a lot of mistakes with whenever I was first painting. Yeah, and the last coat I do very watery, very thin, so that way it'll smooth out any wrinkles or like 3D parts on the paint. And there we go. Now we have to do the very small bandana. So I'm gonna mix some orange, yellow, and white to make the perfect bandana color because I'm going off of the image and I want it to be as close to the colors as possible. And again, just working really slow, trying to get the proportions right since we're like taking a big image and like making it into a really tiny like not even inch small image. So yeah, just try your best to get it as close to the image as you possibly can, but if there are some mess ups, it's fine. So now I'm going to take the 4/0 liner and I'm going to water down the paint just a little bit, not as much as it was with the sketch because we don't want it to be watery and go everywhere. We want it to actually be pigmented. And we're going to line all of the lines. That looks so good. Okay, now we are going to just fix up any mistakes with the orange paint. And one good thing about paint is you can like go back and paint over things that you might have messed up. And the eyes, actually, I didn't think they were going to come out really that good, but I kind of like them. And then I'm going back in and kind of making the lines around the eyes a little bit cleaner and also fixing up the mouth. Looking pretty good. So now I'm going to make the tongue color, mixing some white, yellow, and pink. And then we're going to do the eyes, which again, I think the eyes actually came out really good. And then we're going to do the final line work around the entire image, and the image's line work was actually pretty thick, so I didn't really have to worry about getting really detailed lines or like worrying about messing it up or making the lines too thick because it was already thick lines to begin with, so that was pretty easy. And here we are. I love it. And now we're going to glossy top coat it. And again, you can use gel or regular polish. And I would recommend doing a really thin layer first if you're using gel, and then going with a thicker coat just to smooth everything out. And here it is. Wow, I absolutely love how this came out. I could have done the proportions a little bit better, like put it in more the middle of the nail. But look how small this is compared to my thumb. Like, it's smaller than my thumbnail. That's crazy. And here it is next to my reference image. And here it is with a matte top coat. I thought you guys, would be curious to see what each one looks like. So this is the matte one. I don't know which one I like better. I think I like the matte one. Not too sure, but here it is next to the reference image. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for how I actually do this. I know a lot of people are probably curious of how in the world I do this. But it definitely comes with practice. I've been doing this for about a year and still haven't completely perfected everything. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!